Okay, let's start in the beginning. So you
God
have
created
sperm and egg,
Yeah.
right?
Say what? Say what?
She is here.
I am here. Welcome back to my channel. So as you know, my friend from mainland Japan is here visiting me today. Excuse my voice. I did not get too many hours of sleep last night, so I don't know. Yeah, my voice gets this way when I'm sleep deprived. But yeah, I just wanted to say welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to meet up with my friend, meet up, have a little brunch, and then we'll do a little chit chat while we're eating there. So you guys should look forward to some great conversations about science, about how to get into science, about what makes us even feel passionate about these STEM fields that we are pursuing right now. So just to give you a brief introduction, my friend is a first-year PhD student in Kumamoto University, and yeah, I met her when she was still a master's student, so she just started her PhD, and I'm somewhere midway through my PhD in neuroscience. So if you want to learn about neuroscience or a little bit about stem cells, we'll mostly be talking about her today and her career path. Stay tuned, and you might find out something that could change your perspective on STEM, or maybe will give you information going further into how you can pursue higher education in these fields. So I'm driving up to her now, and yeah, you guys should just stay tuned and let me know if you enjoy this kind of vlog, and I'll keep doing more of these. Welcome to PhD Chats. We just arrived at a place called Panino and Palette. It's called Panino and Coffee Palette. Okay, I don't know how to actually say this name. Palette. Some people just call it Palette or Panino. I don't know. But it's a place that I've been to before. I did a reading vlog here one time. I will link the video up in the info cards. So this is where I'm meeting my friend. And yeah, let's just go inside and see if she's here.
You like the food?
Yeah, I do. It's very good.
Nice.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Ooh,
Isn't
okay.
it a little zing?
Yeah,
It's a little zing.
okay, I like it.
I'm glad.
That's really nice.
Right?
Yeah.
She is here.
I am here.
Tell my viewers what's your name, where you from.
Hello, my name is Lusu, but you can call me Lusu. I'm from Malawi, but I live in Kumamoto, Japan.
Woohoo! How long have you been in Japan?
3 years now. Well, 3 years in February. And then
Wow.
how many months has it been since Feb?
Two
Okay,
months?
so 3 years and 2 months.
March, April,
Yo, I
yeah.
can't believe it. Time flies.
Okay, so here's a question that I get from a lot of people as soon as they hear you've been in Japan for longer than a year.
Yeah.
Are you fluent in Japanese? I know you've heard that question a lot.
Yeah, but most of the time I always say basic conversation, and like if you were to throw me in the most inaka, you know, of the inakas, I think I would find like I would be okay.
You think so?
Yes.
Can you write in Japanese?
I can write katakana and hiragana, but kanji, you're gonna have to wing it. Actually, you know, online, and like, because some Japanese people will text you through line,
Yeah.
and then you have the option to change like your voice to text.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
Okay,
speak.
yeah.
I would speak in Japanese and be like, "Hi, sumimasen," da, 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 and then it just automatically writes, and people think I'm good at Japanese.
It's a win-win-win-win situation.
It's also a way for me to learn, because I will say the word and be like, "Oh, so that's the kanji," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So tell us what you're doing in Japan. Like, are you working? Are you studying? What you doing, girl?
I guess you can call it study work. I'm joking.
I mean, I get it though. I get it.
But I'm studying. I'm a first year PhD student.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! 7 months in.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How are you finding your PhD study so far?
Of course, it's a struggle, but I think it's a learning, process. I definitely feel like doing a PhD is not just the studying. It's life. You're growing with as you do the PhD. You're interacting with different people, especially here in Japan. The culture, the people. You're also like just learning new things about yourself, about your studies as well. So of course it's difficult, but I like a challenge.
You like a challenge. I feel like that's one common denominator amongst everyone who's doing a PhD is like you have to enjoy a challenge. You cannot be doing a PhD and not enjoy a challenge. Because it's not just going to class and remembering things. It's literally creating new knowledge, right? Especially in our field. So STEM fields, STEMiness, where we at?
We're here.
You are studying stem cells.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about stem cells, girl. Like,
okay.
Why stem cells? Why are you doing this?
So I study stem cell biology, and I study like pluripotent stem cell biology. So I'm gonna get into that. But why stem cells? When I went to high school, I remember I did IGCSEs, and
anyone from the southern part of Africa knows what that is.
Exactly. And I remember the biology textbook, and they were talking. The chapter we were on was recombinant DNA technology, and there was a picture of a bacteria, like I'm guessing it was like E. coli or something, and a plasmid, and how they use like a human insulin gene and insert it within that plasmid, and transfect it or like put it inside the bacteria so that it can multiply and make insulin.
Okay.
I was like, what? People can do that?
Yeah.
How? So like I definitely wanted to learn how to do that. I asked my teacher at the time what courses I could go into to be able to do that, and he was like, you should check out biotech. And my mom wanted me to be a medical doctor, and I remember telling her about biotech, and she was like, what is that? Lusu, you can't, it was very new. And then because I was so adamant about wanting to study biotech, they eventually contacted like a professor at a university in Malawi, like, help us understand what this is. Should our daughter really study this? Because there was no biotech in any college back home at the time. Maybe there is now. And so the professor explained, and he was even like, when he was applying for that professorship, is that what it's called? Job. Okay. He was the only person that applied. And so and then my parents were like, okay, thank you so much for letting us know. We went to the university, we had a whole talk, and then that's how I got to go to Malaysia to study biotech.
Because there was no biotech in Malawi, so you had to look abroad.
Yes.
So relatable. So relatable, because sometimes people think, she's out there traveling, she's just out there living her best life because I like traveling, which I do.
Yes.
But they don't understand that the main factor that pushed me out in the first place was the need for something that I wanted to pursue, which wasn't available to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this is not about me.
Oh my goodness.
But literally, it's like I can relate, because like the whole reason I left was because I said I wanted to study neuroscience, and there was no neuroscience in Lesotho. Still is no neuroscience in Lesotho. So obviously you have to look outside and then find opportunities somewhere else.
Amen to that. And I'm very grateful that my parents aren't like the most rich people. They they struggle, but they still they wanted to invest in their child's education, and no matter the cost. And so I went to Malaysia, and there I tried getting a grant. I got the grant. That's how I studied in Malaysia. And in our final year, we had this course called Animal Biotech. Because in biotech, you're learning different fields, of stuff. And I remember in Animal Biotech, we were learning about stem cells. And then, the lecturer at the time told me, like, stem cells can become any cell in your body. And I was like,
what?
Oh my
differentiation.
God! Like, what? You're telling me what?
Yeah.
And it was just mind-blowing. I was like, I really want to know this. And when and so I started looking for in labs and internships at the same time, because I wanted to know if for sure I wanted to study this.
Yeah.
And so that's how I found an internship, got into the internship, learned about stem cell. I was like, I really want to do this.
Right.
And of course there's basic science, and then there's clinical applied science, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted the basic stuff because I want to know how these cells exactly.
Yeah.
Because if that's why I was curious in the beginning, like, oh my gosh, how do they do that? So that's why,
Oh,
but
beautiful. So that led you from Malaysia to Japan. You got your internship, and now you're based in Japan doing a whole PhD, ma'am.
Exactly. Let's start in the beginning. So you
God
have
created
sperm and egg,
Yeah.
right? Fertilization happens and you form what is known as a zygote.
Yeah.
So that zygote is a stem cell because it has the potential to become you the viewer who you're watching right now. And so what happens is that there's the embryo and the placenta. So that's what a totipotent stem cell does. Total potential, right? To become the embryo and the placenta. But then as the cell continues to divide, they form what is known as a blastocyst. And in the blastocyst you have like, it's kind of like, imagine with me a circle, right? And in the circle you have like some cells attached to the circle at the top.
Right.
So those cells that are attached to the circle on the top are what are known as inner cell mass, because it's a cell mass inside of that circle, and those are pluripotent stem cells that give rise to the embryo, whereas the circle gives rise to the trifectoderm, which then gives rise to the placenta. So that's what I study, the cells that make the embryo. How do they make the embryo? And I'm looking at specific proteins within those cells called transcription factors. I'm wondering, how do these transcription factors talk to one another and be like, yo, do this so that you can become a red blood cell, and the other one is like, no, you do this so that you can become like skin cells. Like, isn't that crazy? Anyway, I'm done.
Someone's getting excited.
I'm like, I need to chill.
I think you guys can see like how exciting science can be and just how practical it is. So just to wrap this up,
Yes.
I just want you to give, if you were to talk to your 16-year-old Malawian self who hasn't left the country,
Girl.
you know what I mean, but is thinking about a career in STEM, what is the biggest insight you can share with them about why they should pursue science? Okay, so here's why I'm asking this. A lot of people back home are like, yeah, what's the point of studying science? There are no jobs. It doesn't pay well. Like the opportunity cost doesn't make sense. So like, if you were to encourage someone who's truly passionate about science, but is coming from a environment that doesn't necessarily promote that, what would be your advice?
One thing I tell myself, or like, it's like a slogan that, because in my primary school they used to say the sky is the limit, which makes sense because but then now that I'm growing up or like an adult, I'm like, no, the sky is not the limit. You get what I'm saying? Like
I think that kid disagrees with you. Like, no, ma'am, the sky is the limit. Okay, but
no, the sky is not the
limit.
limit. Like, keep on dreaming. Dreams, they're not for certain groups of people. Everyone is allowed to dream, and it's only if you dare to like go for it is when you realize the stuff that are out there. Because like, nobody told me about internships in Japan, for example, right? But I was like, I'm curious about this. I didn't know how to do it. I just went for it, and
trial and error.
Exactly, and things worked out. And like, I know finances can be difficult, and I don't know, there are many situations that can be difficult. But here you are, you're an example of somebody who did pursue their dream and got out and did their passion someplace else. Exactly.
At least people can have an example to look up to and say, hey, she did that.
Exactly. And then so can you. And the world is so big. And even though like science, I don't know,
gets a bad rap.
Exactly. It's very intriguing. You can make it your own. You can search what you're interested in, All
right. Thank you so much for agreeing to the interview. Hopefully some kid in Malawi or Lesotho or South Africa, wherever this is relevant to. I hope that they will watch this and feel like they gained something.
I hope so too.
Yeah, this is the first video of the PhD chat series.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh wow,
so
this is amazing. I feel honored.
Yay, awesome.
This is the Japanese